Director Thomas. Director Davidson.
Here.
Director Underhill.
Here.
President Retterman.
Here.
And Director Cicada is absent today.
Item 2 on our agenda is public comment. At this time, members of the public may address the board on any non-agendized item. The public is encouraged to work through staff to place items on the agenda for board consideration. No action can be taken on matters not listed on the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Mr. Ralph Copeland has approached.
Hi, Ralph Copeland, Copperopolis. The last committee meeting, I threw this out at off the record as I was leaving. I'd like to get it on the record. I'd like to see the committee meetings, the video put up for later use by those for the public and those members who miss meetings and so forth can catch up and just get educated. But I see on the screen, it says this meeting is being recorded, so I assume it's video. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be great if you could put those on.
And go ahead, Becca. We did continue that conversation after you left and made the comment, Ralph. Becca's got an update.
Yeah, so we are going to start posting those. I'll have to work with the other committees.
Okay.
But they are recorded, so we can post them.
Wonderful. Thank you. We have to get our hair done before this.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Ralph. That would help us in our venture to become more and more open with our meetings. What's that? Oh, transparent and open. No, it's part of our transparency policy. I guess we might have started when we got a new strategic plan.
Our vision is. We can't read it though. We.
Yeah. It's way up there. Well, it might be right in front of you here too. Okay, item 3 on our agenda is the consent agenda. We got 3 items, 3A, 3B, 3C. Approval of credit adjustment. We got a report of monthly investment transactions for March, and then the cancellation of our regular board meeting of May 10th.
Move for acceptance.
Turn your the microphone there.
I would like to pull ask some questions about 3A, but I'll second his motion on 3B and C if that's
Okay,
appropriate.
we need another motion on B and C.
Second.
Okay.
moved.
All right, so we
Second.
got a motion and a second for 3B and 3C. Becca, can you take roll?
Director Thomas.
Yes.
Director Davidson.
Yes.
Director Underhill.
Yes.
President Retterman.
Yes. Okay, item 3A, go ahead, Russ.
Okay, Mr. Meyer, can you, I've got a couple of quick questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. On this page, that we're starting off with, it doesn't have a number on it, but it's the where we have the summary of the asset management activity. It's been a long time since I took an accounting class, but I remember that there were there was a phrase called a contra account.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of fearful that as we move into our rate hearings and stuff, that somebody might look at this sheet and the following sheet and conclude that we've got cash in the bank of $59 million.
Okay.
But there's the water loan and the sewer loan is $30,000. That it seems like to me that should be listed as net of the liability that we have on those loans. So I know it says a water loan and a sewer loan, but do you have any suggestions how that could be more accurately depicted or presented?
Certainly, and perhaps we can look at identifying funds restricted versus unrestricted. That way we know that in the restricted fund, you can only use it for certain items,
Mhm.
sort of like when we talk about our expansion funds. When you talk about the Copper Cove Sewer Expansion Fund, it can only be used for sewer projects in Copper Cove. So maybe we can look at modifying this table to make it clear that we do have these monies are restricted and not available for general purposes, general operating costs.
Does anybody else feel like that there needs to be some attention given to that? Because it's someone, one of our customers might look here and say, you know, why are you raising your rates $10 a month whenever you got 59 million in the bank? So.
No, I agree with you, Director Thomas.
This sort of thing comes up all the time.
And it will be coming up again, as you say, as we do conduct our rate study, and we have to have answers now.
Well, if it doesn't complicate your life unduly, Jeff, could we explore possibilities on that then?
Certainly, and that could be similar to the information we provide to the finance committee. We had a list of all the different funds, which are restricted, which are unrestricted. So I can build upon that to help tell the story.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question just to follow up, just to try and understand. He's asking about, Director Thomas asked about items listed as Chandler Asset Management Water Loan and Chandler Asset Management Sewer Loan, which add up to close to $30 million.
Yes,
And then you responded with restricted funds. But how does are these loan, the water loan and the sewer loan sitting with Channel Asset Management, are they restricted themselves
they are restricted. Yes, they are. And they,
to be used for?
the projects that were identified in the loan documents.
Okay.
Remember when
For
we,
for CIP. then.
for capital improvement projects, that is
Okay,
correct.
only for CIP.
Yeah.
Even narrower than that, the projects are actually depicted
Yeah.
in the loan documents. We would have to amend the loan documents to use them for projects that weren't specifically identified for those loan proceeds.
And would we have to change the loan documents to use them for something other than CIP?
We could not.
I don't know, okay. Should we just call it committed?
Sort of like me.
That's a bad, I think that might be a better way to put it.
Yeah.
We have other,
These are currently committed. We're not talking the future.
We can do that, Director Davidson. Yeah.
that might be a better, something along those lines, because we have other sources of unrestricted funds that aren't.
I would call it just CIP committed,
Yes.
project committed or something along those lines. I mean,
Encumbered.
Yes. Income. I think committed is a word that people understand.
Yeah.
Encumbered is a little bit different, but we can come up with a terminology that shows these are separated and they're committed towards certain projects. I don't think we need to go through the list of all the projects, but
well,
committed is good.
anytime we have to end up in a rate hearings, we have to explain to people that our rates do not go for certain things. We're not allowed to use that. And that's just something
Right.
we have to educate people on every time we do this.
Well, and also, and I think this is Director Thomas's point, that we're not just sitting on cash, right? On a huge lump sum of cash at the same
Well-
time as we're raising rates.
Well, we are, but
Sitting on huge things.
It's not our cash.
it's, yeah. It's
It's
be
a
used for
big
something.
pile of debt is what we're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
That was my point, is that it is, actually, it's kind of an unusual thing. We're making money on the cash being there and earning interest on it, but it is, the value of that money is net of the obligation to pay it back, so.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, and then the last thing here, you got this, I keep reading this as supernatural securities, but it's supernational securities. What is that 65% CPN rate that you got listed there?
What page are you on?
Oh, that's
The
the
last
third of the three.
The third of the three.
Yeah, investment costs. You've got book value, par value, and the CPN rate. That's 65%.
I'll need to look into that and get back to you on that 65. It could be 6.5. Could be a typo.
That'd be great if we could earn 65%.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a loan shark.
I wasn't going to comment, but thank you for stepping in on that one.
Okay. That answers my questions. If nobody else
One that I just got to, looking at this a little closer, a follow-up question on that same column is the very bottom called totals, and that CPN rate is 1.3. Is that supposed to be an average of everything in that column?
Yeah. It's not, it's proportional to the amount of money in each category.
Okay, okay. So weighted,
It's weighted.
based on the amount, okay. All right, anything further, Director?
No, I'm,
Well, can you tell me the dividends earned? Was it $123?
yeah,
Yes, because that's a money market account. You get your returns in dividends
Okay,
versus interest earned.
okay.
okay, I would like to move for approval of 3A then.
Second?
Do we got a motion and a second on 3A? Thank you, Jeffrey, for your explanations.
Thank you.
Second, can you take roll?
Director Thomas?
Yes,
Director Davidson?
Yes.
Director Underhill?
Yes.
President Rademacher?
Yes. Okay, next on our agenda is 4B, discussion action regarding approval of a sole source. I'm sorry. Before we leave 3A, was there any public comment on that item? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on to 4A, discussion action regarding amending district policy number 12, records retention policy. Becca Hitchcock, clerk to the board representing CCWD.
So as you all know, the current policy for records retention was adopted quite a while ago, June 1990. Technologies have drastically changed since then, so we needed to update that policy. So I've been working on this for a while using water code and the California water code and government codes to determine the retention on items. I also have taken samples from Downey Brand and CSDA. Sat with each of the departments and reviewed all of their items, made sure everything that was on the schedule are things that we actually have here and retain. Things that you might be interested in, there's the email and voicemails should be retained, should not be retained past their immediate usefulness. So unless there's something specific that's in the records retention schedule, there's no need to keep it as long as it's not business business needs. And then electronic records are also determined by their subject matter. So they're basically treated the same as a paper document. So they'll also have to retain, electronic records will also have to be followed the schedule that's attached. One minor change since it was agendized, page 1, board item number 2, the government code was not correct that was listed there. So that's going to be different if adopted.
Okay, any discussion questions for Becca here on the dais?
And how long did you work on this? I know
It's been probably a year.
yeah,
It's
uh-huh.
one of those back burner items.
We were wondering where you've been all year.
Imagine what we're gonna be able to get done now.
Yeah, wow.
so is this going to require full-time equivalent person to keep track of all this stuff going forward, or
Not with Becca here.
no?
I think it's just going to give, the people who handle the records, something to go off of. So you'll probably be seeing a lot more destruction requests coming after that.
A lot more.
And
Discussion?
No, no,
excuse me,
but-
one more comment, and then the file you have says, destroy after whatever, that's going to be, again, the department heads are going to be on top of it, and we'll be able to clean that out.
That's the hope, yes.
Mhm.
Will we be able to move away 100 of those filing cabinets out there?
That is in the plan. We want to reduce the filing cabinets in the hallway for sure.
Hmm.
So,
Nice.
But,
Put the bowling alley back in?
Yeah.
Did Peter ever finish cleaning out those?
We left that sticky note there just for sentimental reasons.
Yeah, when's he getting back to that?
Yeah, motion,
No, we don't.
move for a second.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any public comment? Or file retention ideas? Right, Becca, can you take roll, please?
Okay, Director Thomas,
Yes.
Director Davidson,
Yes.
Director Underhill,
Yes,
President Radaman.
Yes. Okay, item 4B, discussion action regarding approval of a sole source construction and installation contract for a UV trough and installation of the UV disinfection system. Damon Wyckoff, Director of Operations.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
Thank you. The Forest Meadows UV system is past its useful life. It was installed in 1991. And this is a critical component of the Forest Meadows wastewater system. It's the disinfection component. And so the district, it's critically important that this item, once it's installed, operates effectively, as it has to provide a necessary kill rate and whatever critters might be in the wastewater once it's treated. So CTC Coltis Cornea Construction has completed the installation of 2 different UV systems for CCWD in 2008. CTC constructed the UV system at the Copper Cove Reclaim wastewater treatment facility and at the La Cantena wastewater treatment plant. Both facilities are still operating now, and they do a fabulous job. And the district would like to take advantage of the sole source policy in the purchasing policy. It's section 5.c of the purchasing policy, in order to take advantage of his expertise and his company's expertise for the installation of the new Forest Meadows UV system. His proposal's roughly $197,000, which is within the budget limit for the project. And this request was presented to the engineering committee on April 13th to favorable review. So the ask is that the board approves this sole source contract to CTC Construction, and we can get them moving forward on the installation of the UV system.
Kind of look first to our engineering committee members. Am I right? Is any comment?
Move for acceptance.
Second.
Any questions?
yes. Okay, so this means that CTC
CTC.
will be responsible for
The installation of the,
UV.
yep, and the construction of the UV trough, which is a concrete trough that has to be installed very precisely.
Okay, so you mentioned Forest Meadows. Anybody else?
Any other
UV,
contractors? Not local contractors that
Oh, well,
CCWD
that's,
has worked
yeah,
with.
that was my thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, and have we seen Tuscornia at any of our meetings?
I'm not sure if we've seen him at our meetings. I
I
believe,
know he's done other projects for us over the years, but I don't think he's been to
Yeah.
a board meeting, to my knowledge.
yeah, I believe one of the staffers.
He hasn't been to any of our meetings, I know that.
Right.
Not super social.
No, it's hard to get out.
One of his staffers, though, I do believe did attend the groundbreaking at the Sheep Ranch fire protection tank project in Sheep Ranch when it was commissioned, essentially, is what you would say. Because CTC did that work for the county and the district as well.
And I didn't know they had done work for us before. I have heard a lot of
Yeah.
good work that he does in the community.
Yeah,
Surrounding areas.
they also constructed the surge tank at the Hunter's Water Treatment Plant for CCWD.
So there has been a lot of
Yeah,
money.
the most recent project was the Sheep Ranch Fire Protection Project, where CTC disassembled a bolted steel tank that we had in the Valley Springs area, trucked it up to Sheep Ranch and installed it next to the existing drinking water tank. And we now have them both filled, and we have almost 2.5 times the capacity for fire protection now than we did prior to the project. And
Okay.
they did a great job.
So we don't have to see them, just, have the
Right.
work completed and that's it.
Yeah, understood.
I don't think we see all of our contractors. We do see, I
Right.
think it's rare, but, and this, the project in Sheep Ranch was the joint project with Calaveras County, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, we do have a motion in a second. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Becca, can you take roll?
Director Thomas,
Yes.
Director Davidson.
Yes.
Director Underhill,
Yes.
President Ratterman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, item 5B or 5A reports, general managers reports.
Since we're going so
You
quickly,
got nothing
This
to
is, this is where it all stopped.
like I gotta really kind of spread my wings here.
Yeah, take your coat off and.
Be comfortable, everybody. No, I don't have time, and knock on wood, I shouldn't even say this. We've had a few like agendas in a row, so it's nice to move them quickly along. I think for me, the most exciting thing right now is just the bustle that we're feeling around the office, both between moving into the courtyard out there, which is well underway. We're out of the shop down the street, and having that staff presence here is just really fantastic. Have more interaction with more staff in one location is one of the big benefits of that project, and we're already starting to see those benefits, even though we're not fully moved in yet. We're shuffling offices within the building here, which is on one hand a bit of a headache. On the other hand, you know, it kind of is kind of, we've dusted off some of the old files and cleaned some stuff out, and it creates a little bit of a new kind of new energy in the office. So it's actually pretty exciting and nice to reshuffle every once in a while. And these two things happening at the same time, I think just dovetail nicely together. So that's actually pretty exciting. And it actually ties, we talked about this a little bit at external relations last week. And one of the things that was identified in the strategic plan that we haven't checked off the list yet is a rebranding effort. And it seems like the timing might be appropriate to revisit that between the changes that have been happening, a new external affairs manager starting, all of that. Seems like a good opportunity to capitalize on that. Speaking of the external affairs manager, John Osborne will be starting on Monday. So we will be looking forward to him here. And then we can also now finally announce our new district engineer. His name is Mark Rincon Ibarra. He's currently the city engineer in St. Helena, and he is relocating to the area. He's very enthusiastic about joining our team, and he will be starting on May 15th. And so we are equally enthusiastic, or probably more enthusiastic about that as well. Let's see. We have, if you recall, it might be a year ago now, that the board approved a template of a mutual aid memorandum of understanding that we initially developed with TUD, and that was the first one that we completed, was that mutual aid agreement with TUD. We did it as a template so that as long as there's no substantial revisions to it that would need board approval, we wouldn't necessarily have to bring it back to the board. But along with the understanding that as we enter into more of those agreements, we report back to the board. So we did one a few months ago that we talked about briefly with Utica Water and Power Authority, and we've now done another one with the Blue Lake Springs Mutual Water Company. So those agreements, I think, are they've already proven valuable during this last round of storms, and I think their utility will continue moving forward. The, I know, I don't want to steal any thunder from Director Underhill, but we had a fantastic, I thought it was fantastic town hall in Arnold, last week. Gosh, it seems like a long time ago. But that was just last Tuesday, at the Evans Pass Firehouse. We didn't take a head count, so I think it was about the same as the other districts. And it was really good participation from the folks that were there, and good feedback. And we just have a fantastic team that orchestrates those events. So Rebecca and Kate and Damon and excuse me, Kelly Richards and Kelly Gerkensmeyer. It was definitely a team effort. Hope I'm not forgetting anybody. And it was well received. So we will continue. We'll have a presence at Fair. We're going to work with Director Cicada on an event targeting the West Point area, and we're going to keep the tour alive, keep the band on the road. We have a few other external affairs events coming up, Sons in Retirement up in Arnold, Rotary in Valley Springs, and more to follow on that front. We've got Aqua Conference coming up in a couple of weeks, so we'll be canceling the May 10th board meeting, but we have scheduled a special board meeting next Wednesday, and it will largely be a board workshop for our 5-year financial plan. Other than that, we have an important trip coming up with the legal affairs team to DC at the end of this month, and Mia is hard at work at scheduling meetings for us for a couple of days there. And I believe that's all I have.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, going to move on, board reports, information, future agenda items. We'll start with Director Thomas.
Okay, Michael, this, our new district engineer, Mark Rincon, Rincon, Ibarra, Ebarra.
It's Ibarra.
Okay. Ibarra, okay. I got invited to go up to Murphy's to have dinner with Michael and his family, and with Mark and his wife Marta from Puerto Rico, PhD educator she is, and it was a delightful experience. When you first started talking about that this gentleman might be a good choice for us, you said he's he'd like to finish up his career here, and I thought he was going to be a gray-haired guy like me, and he's a very young-looking guy and very enthusiastic, and he has a global perspective. He met his wife years ago at a music conference down in Havana, Cuba. So they have family and friends all around the world, and I don't know. I just had the greatest feeling about how he's going to add a new dimension to our organization. It's just really pretty exciting, I thought. Another enjoyable meeting occurred yesterday when Director Underhill drove all the way down to the Salt Spring Valley to get a tour of our house and have lunch with Gloria and with me. And
Did she bring the shower head?
yeah, no. No, I should have told her to stop and pick one up. But that's another story. I was hopeful to get a final inspection on Monday, but I kind of got tripped up on a couple of items. So anyways, underway. You did say I could start moving in.
Good to hear.
So just has everybody observed the this is way off the subject of water, but related in a way, but that super bloom that we've been having is just spectacular.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, I've seen flowers on top of flowers and colors that I've never seen before down by where we live. It's really quite remarkably beautiful. So that's all I have for today.
Director Davidson, well,
Michael, I'm sorry I couldn't make that dinner, but it looks like you found a good, decent replacement for me. But
Adequate, adequate, I
first.
would say, yeah.
Thank you for asking me. Fig.
Sure.
Hey, I just wanted to bring something up that I want to say I told you so. To everybody. There is a lawsuit.
You hardly ever do that.
I know, but there's currently a federal lawsuit going on that is it's out of Montana, but it is the environmental community has sued I believe the Department of Forestry regarding the use of the I forget what it's called, but whatever they drop out of the airplanes in our
Fire
canyons,
retardant, yeah,
fire retardant
yeah.
in protected areas like our wild and scenic streams,
Mhm.
which is exactly what I told everybody would happen. And so that lawsuit is currently ongoing right now, and it affects California. It's not just, it's gonna be I mean, it's something we definitely need to keep our eye on and to whatever extent, I mean, I kind of want to at least get some sort of an update on that for the board. Because, we all remember all the big hugs on the McCollum Wild and Scenic, but Wild and Scenic is one of the areas that they're trying to prevent us from protecting with this fire retardant.
Interesting, okay. I mean, well, first of all, the I told you so is noted in the record. The comparison between the impact of the retardant versus burning it down is an interesting. I imagine the logic there is.
There was, I had heard it on the news and I kept searching for it, but I couldn't find anything recent, but there was a small blurb that came up on, I believe, mymotherlode.com that had a short little story about it, but I haven't seen much. I think I saw it one time on the news a few weeks ago, and I've been kind of searching for something that I could forward. But as far as in print, that's where I believe I saw it, but
We'll follow up on it.
that's it.
So Bertha, you're gonna follow Director Davidson's nay, I was invited first, and his second item, I told you so. Go ahead.
I didn't have a chance, I really.
Last
Next
time I invite any
next time
directors
you
to
say,
dinner.
I told you so.
I'm gonna start saying that before we start.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to say I told you so. Please don't do this.
Okay, just to comment back about the town hall. The fact that we didn't have a great big audience was kind of, all right, because wait till the next time. Just wait for the next one. The comments that I did get out of the town hall were very, very favorable. Everybody at CCWD knows their job and they know what they're doing and they know what their purpose is, and we have no problems. And we were commenting about that because we could think back of what, 20 years, or not that long, 15 years ago when CCWD, and I used to say this, the minute I said CCWD, eyes would roll. The rolling is gone. The rolling is gone. We are so in there, and we're not going to get too cocky about it because we're all going to do our job and continue to do our job. But I'm just, I had to say that about our town hall. So Director Thomas has challenged me, and I'm saying you wait till the next time.
I
And
appreciate that feedback, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll continue to progress and try to get better. We'll use eye rolling as a performance metric. I like that a lot.
Okay, so I was involved in a little bit of an accident, but I'm okay now, and so I'm here.
Looking good.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you. Glad you're able to make it. and
Yeah.
Seems like you become more active after your fall. You get down to see Russ and Gloria. Very nice.
That's all it took was a
A little
little.
bang to the head.
A wake-up call.
Okay, I got, okay, I just wanted to reiterate that our Aqua Conference is May 8th through 11th in Monterey. The general session starts on 1 o'clock on May 8th, if where the election for the Aqua Executive Committee will take place. All 5 of us board members are going to be attending. What I'd like to see following this Aqua Conference is to bring each director bring back something. There's so much going on in water this year. There's so much not only to learn, to expound on. We get bits and pieces of it here. But if you sit through a 1.5 hour session at Aqua on a specific subject, you come back with so much knowledge on that subject, and there's something to be shared. I'm hoping with each of us, and not necessarily an agenda item, but just something to share that you learned and picked up. It's something we don't do a whole lot, but if everyone could just think ahead of time, just to bring back something. We are going to DC the end of May. We're all flying, I think, on Memorial Day, that Monday, and got that a short week. And then again, the Utica UPUD water system video feature at Ironstone is taking place on May 4th at 6 p.m. Encourage your attendance. It should be a fun video. And we're going to our next meeting of regular board meeting has been canceled on May 10th. May 3rd, next week, our special board meeting. Wednesday, April 26th is our next regular board meeting. After that, we're going into closed session for 2 potential cases. So we'll take a 5-minute break and get back to closed session. Thank you, everybody. And we're on a whirlwind.